So imagine you're sitting in a cozy corner of a restaurant. It's bustling with people. The clink of silverware fills the air, and the warm glow of lights wraps around everyone like a soft blanket. But suddenly, the peaceful atmosphere shatters. A loud voice echoes through the room, sharp, accusatory. "You're dining on the Cuban people's suffering." The room goes silent. All eyes turn to a woman sitting at a corner table. It's Ana de Armas, looking startled. She was having dinner with someone. Manuel Anido Cuesta, her rumored boyfriend. The words from the journalist cut through her like ice, and her face flushes with anger and fear. She stands up quickly, ready to defend herself, her hands shaking, as she spits back an angry response. But just as things start to spiral out of control, a calm, composed figure steps in. Keanu Reeves. He moves through the crowd with a quiet, steady confidence that immediately catches everyone's attention. He places himself between Ana and the journalist. "Stay with me," he whispers to her, his voice like a shield against the storm. Ana looks at him, her eyes filled with panic, but also a flicker of trust. The moment stretches out, and in that look something deeper forms, a bond, unspoken but undeniable. As the tension simmers, Keanu leads Ana away from the restaurant, the journalist's angry words fading behind them. But outside, the storm is only beginning. The journalist follows, rallying a group of protesters. They start chanting, their voices growing louder, accusing Ana of betraying her Cuban roots. Ana's guilt rushes to the surface. She feels torn, trapped between the life she's built and the past she's running from. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do it now. If you love stories of courage and justice, this one's for you. Now let's dive into this again. Months earlier, Ana and Keanu had met on a film set in Los Angeles. The air was different there, thick with the noise of cameras, the chatter of actors, the rustling of crew members. But in the chaos, they found a quiet corner to talk. Keanu, ever calm, sat across from Ana, who was grappling with the weight of her fame. They spoke about their struggles, the loneliness, the pressure, the feeling of being constantly in the public eye. "I was born in Cuba," Ana had confessed softly. "People expect me to be this symbol, but I don't know what that means anymore." Keanu, listening with empathy, had shared his own experiences with loss and the complications of fame. It wasn't the first time they'd bonded over their shared sense of isolation. In a quieter moment, Keanu noticed the discomfort that the paparazzi caused Ana at a charity event. He'd stepped in without hesitation, charming the crowd, redirecting the cameras away from her. Ana, grateful but surprised, had given him a small Cuban flag pin. "For luck," she had said. Keanu had accepted it with a quiet smile. "I'll wear it with pride." And from that moment on, the pin had stayed with him, a reminder of her. Now, as Ana and Keanu rush through the streets of Madrid, the city seems unfamiliar in its danger. The rain pelts against their faces, the sound of footsteps pounding on wet pavement mixing with the shouts from the protesters. Keanu grips the wheel tightly, steering them toward safety, toward a safe house owned by an old friend. Inside, Ana can't contain herself any longer. She breaks down, the weight of everything she's been through finally crashing down on her. "I thought he was different, Keanu," she says through tears, her voice trembling with doubt. But I didn't see the whole picture. Keanu listens quietly, his presence a steadying force in the storm. He doesn't offer advice, doesn't offer judgment. He just listens, letting her speak her truth. As the night wears on, Keanu uncovers something sinister. The journalist is not just some rogue reporter. He's part of an activist group with ties to powerful figures, people who have their own agenda. The group plans to publicly humiliate Ana at a high-profile gala she's scheduled to attend. "I won't let them tear you down," Keanu says, his voice soft but filled with unshakable determination. "You're not alone in this." The next day, they race against time. The streets of Madrid blur past them as they speed toward the unknown. Ana, still reeling from the events of the night before, can barely think straight. Keanu keeps his focus, his mind working through the puzzle with careful precision. At the safe house, Ana watches him, noticing for the first time the Cuban flag pin he's wearing, a gift from her. Her heart tightens as she touches it softly, tears springing to her eyes. "You kept it," she says, her voice thick with emotion. Keanu meets her gaze, his voice gentle but firm. "It's a reminder of you." For a moment, the world outside fades. They're not celebrities, not enemies or victims. They're just two people, bound together by loyalty, by shared understanding. As Anna prepares for the gala, Keanu uncovers more about the activist group and their dangerous leader, a man who has been manipulating the media to further his own political agenda. This is no longer just a fight for Anna's reputation, it's a fight for the truth. But the clock is ticking and the stakes couldn't be higher. Back in the past, Anna remembers a conversation she had with Keanu during one of their many quiet moments. He had warned her about trusting too easily. "People can sell you dreams, Anna, but not all dreams are worth chasing." At the time, she hadn't fully understood his warning, but now as the world closes in around her, she sees the truth in his words. "I won't let them take you down," Keanu had said then, his voice steady with conviction. She had nodded, unsure, but now, she understands. The night of the gala arrives. The grand ballroom is filled with glittering lights, laughter and music. Celebrities mill about, the media's cameras flashing in every direction, but amidst the glitter, a storm brews. Anna steps up to the microphone, the weight of the world pressing down on her. Keanu stands by her side, his presence unwavering. They know the activist group is waiting, ready to strike. As Anna begins her speech, the journalist from the restaurant bursts forward, his voice rising above the crowd. "Traitor!" he shouts, projecting images of Cuban poverty onto the screens above. The crowd gasps, the room descending into chaos. But Keanu steps forward, calm and composed. He holds up evidence, proof that the activist leader has been manipulating the narrative, turning Anna into a villain for political gain. "She's not your enemy," Keanu says, his voice resonating in the silence. "She's one of you." The crowd falls silent, their anger dissipating in the face of truth. Anna, inspired by Keanu's words, steps forward to take the mic. "I was naive," she admits, "but I will do better. I will support Cuban relief efforts. I'm sorry." The room erupts into applause. Anna's apology, her pledge to help, changes the narrative. The truth has won. In the background, the operative who orchestrated the attack is quietly apprehended, and the journalist, realizing he's been played, backs down. Days later, Anna visits a Cuban community center, her image slowly rebuilding as she donates to aid programs. Keanu watches from a distance, a quiet pride filling his chest. He knows that the road ahead won't be easy, but at least for now, the truth is on their side. As the sun begins to set, Anna walks toward him, a small Cuban flag pin in her hand. She pins it to his jacket, and their eyes meet, silent understanding passing between them. They may not have said it yet, but the unspoken bond between them is stronger than ever. The camera pans out as they walk side by side, ready to face whatever the world throws at them together. The days following the gala pass in a blur, but the effects of that night continue to ripple through Anna's life. The media, for once, seems to be on her side. The activist group's plan has been exposed, and the public is beginning to see her in a new light. Yet, Anna knows this is only the beginning. She takes a deep breath as she walks into the Cuban community center, the weight of the world still resting heavy on her shoulders. The doors creak open and she steps inside. The center is small but welcoming, with walls lined with photos of those who have contributed over the years, faces of the past and present, united in their shared struggle. Anna's heart tightens. She knows the importance of this moment, of making a real change. She looks around at the workers, the volunteers, the children playing nearby, and her chest swells with a mixture of pride and sorrow. "I'm here to help," Anna says quietly as she approaches a worker at the desk. The worker looks up in surprise, then recognition. "Thank you," the worker says softly, guiding Anna to where donations are being sorted. As Anna starts organizing, her hands moving methodically, she catches sight of a familiar face, Keanu. He's standing by the entrance, watching her, his presence like a constant anchor. For a moment, their eyes meet, and she smiles. A small, grateful smile. He doesn't speak, but his eyes say everything. His quiet pride in her is enough to keep her going. The memory of a quieter, simpler time comes to Anna's mind. Another charity event they had attended together, not long before the whirlwind of the recent events. It had been a calm evening, with soft music and the occasional clink of glasses. Anna had been visibly uncomfortable, the paparazzi outside the venue causing her anxiety. Keanu, ever the gentleman, had noticed her discomfort almost immediately. "Let's take a walk," he had suggested, his tone warm and nonchalant. The two of them had stepped away from the crowd, finding a quiet corner. The noise of the paparazzi seemed miles away as they shared a rare, peaceful moment. Anna had hesitated before speaking, unsure of how much she should reveal. "I don't like this part," Anna had confessed. "The cameras, the expectations, it's too much sometimes." Keanu had listened, his gaze soft and understanding. "You don't have to explain it. I get it." And in that moment, she had felt seen, really seen, for the first time in a long time. Back in the present, Anna holds on to that memory. It's a lifeline, a reminder of why she's doing this, why she's fighting so hard to rebuild herself. And Keanu, as always, stands by her side. His quiet strength is something she's come to rely on, whether she says it aloud or not. Hannah's life slowly begins to shift in ways she never thought possible. The media, while still cautious, seems to be giving her a chance to rebuild. Donations are flowing in for the Cuban relief efforts, and the community center is seeing more foot traffic than ever. But there's always that nagging feeling in the back of her mind that the worst is still to come. It's late afternoon, and Anna finds herself sitting in the quiet of her apartment, the curtains pulled back to let in the last bits of sunlight. The phone on the table rings, cutting through the silence. She picks it up. "Hello?" "It's Marla," comes the familiar voice on the other end. "We need to talk. I found something." Anna's heart skips a beat. She leans forward, her fingers gripping the phone tighter. "What is it?" "I've been looking into things, the activist group. They're not finished yet. They've been planning something big." Anna's stomach twists. "What are they planning?" Marla pauses for a moment. "It's going to happen at the next event, the one where you're supposed to speak on Cuban relief efforts." Anna's mind races. "They're going to try to discredit me again." Marla's voice is filled with urgency. "Yes, and this time they have the media behind them. We need to be ready." Anna takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of the situation settle over her once more. "I'm not going to let them take me down again." There's a long pause before Marla speaks again, her voice softer. "You don't have to do this alone, Anna. Keanu's been right there with you through all of this." Hannah smiles faintly. "I know he's been my rock." And just like that, Anna's resolve solidifies. She won't let the past define her. She won't let the lies and manipulation take away the good she's trying to do. The day of the next event arrives, and the air is thick with tension. Anna stands backstage, the sound of murmurs and camera flashes slipping under the door. The gala is set to be an important step in her journey toward redemption, but she knows the activist group won't let her have it easily. Keanu stands beside her, his presence grounding her. His calm demeanor, his unwavering support, it's all she needs to feel a little less alone in the storm. "You're ready for this," Keanu says quietly, his voice steady and reassuring. Anna nods, though her heart races. She can't shake the feeling that something is about to happen. "For you've been through worse," Keanu adds with a small smile. "This is just another moment in time. You've got this." Anna meets his gaze, feeling a mix of gratitude and something deeper, something unspoken. "Thank you, Keanu." He gives her a soft, understanding smile. "Always." And with that, Anna walks onto the stage, her footsteps confident despite the storm swirling outside. She steps up to the microphone, her heart pounding. The crowd quiets, the weight of expectations heavy on her shoulders. "I stand before you today," Anna begins, her voice clear, not as a perfect figure, but as someone who is learning to do better, learning to be better. Just as she begins to speak further, the activist group makes their move. Protesters rush forward, shouting accusations. The screens behind Anna flash with images of Cuban poverty, their words cutting through the room like daggers. But this time, it's different. Keanu steps forward, his calm voice rising above the chaos. "These images," Keanu says, his voice cutting through the noise, "are being used to manipulate you. The real enemy is not Ana de Armas. It's the corruption that has kept the truth hidden from the world." The room falls silent, the truth settling like a heavy weight. Ana takes a deep breath, the energy in the room shifting. With Keanu standing beside her, she steps forward. "I was wrong to trust the wrong people, but I will not make that mistake again." The crowd, once divided, begins to turn. The energy shifts and applause starts to ripple through the room. And just like that, the world begins to see Ana for who she truly is, someone willing to face the truth no matter how painful. Days later, Ana walks into the Cuban Community Center again, her heart lighter than it's been in months. The donation drive is a success, and the center is buzzing with energy. Ana smiles as she watches people come and go, knowing that she's finally starting to make a real difference. Keanu is standing by the door, watching her, his quiet pride evident. Ana walks over to him, a new Cuban flag pin in her hand. She pins it onto his jacket, her fingers brushing against his sleeve. Their eyes meet. There's a quiet understanding between them, something deeper than friendship. Without saying a word, Keanu gives a slight nod, his eyes full of unspoken gratitude and care. Together they stand, side by side, ready to face whatever the world may throw at them. The future is uncertain, but with each other they know they can face anything. As the camera pulls back, they walk out of the center, their steps steady and in sync. A new chapter begins, and for once, the world seems like a place worth facing, together. The days following the gala and the public revelation of the truth are a whirlwind for Ana. The media coverage is relentless, some of it supportive, most of it skeptical, but it's a start. The accusations are still there, lingering in the air, like smoke. But Ana's voice has finally been heard. She continues to push forward, though the weight of it all never quite disappears. In the quiet moments, the doubt still lingers. What if the public forgets her in a few months? What if the whispers never stop? But then there's Keanu, always steady, always present, never pushing her to be anything but herself. One afternoon, Ana finds herself standing in front of a mirror, staring at the Cuban flag pin on Keanu's jacket. It's the same one she gave him months ago, the one that had seemed like just a gesture at the time. She runs her fingers over it, the fabric worn from being handled so many times. Her reflection stares back at her, and for the first time in a long while, she doesn't see someone caught in the web of public scrutiny. She sees someone who has fought through the storm and come out the other side. "I'm not done yet," she whispers to herself. "I'm still here." And more importantly, she realizes that she has a reason to keep going. The flag pin, the donations to the Cuban Relief Fund, the smiles of the children at the community center, they all feel like small victories. They may not erase the past, but they can shape the future. As Ana leaves the apartment that afternoon, the air feels different. The weight of the world on her shoulders is still there, but it's lighter now, more manageable. She walks down the street, the flag pin glinting in the sunlight, a symbol of all that she's fought for, and all that she still hopes to achieve. Keanu is waiting for her at the corner, a small smile on his face. He doesn't need to ask how she's feeling. He can see it in the way she holds herself now, stronger, more determined. "You're ready," he says as though reading her mind. Ana nods. "I am." As the weeks roll by, Ana's life starts to settle into a new rhythm. She continues to speak at public events, raising awareness for the Cuban relief efforts. The media continues to scrutinize her every move, but she's learned how to handle it. What was once a source of anxiety has slowly turned into something she can control. But one morning, as Ana prepares for another high-profile interview, the storm reappears. The phone rings early. It's Marla. "Ana, you need to be careful," Marla says, her voice urgent. "I've heard whispers. There's a new threat. They're planning something at the next rally, something big." Anna's stomach churns. Who's behind it? I don't know yet, but they're trying to use your past against you again. Anna looks over at the Cuban flag pin on Keanu's jacket, still a reminder of his unwavering support. We'll deal with it, she says quietly. We've been through worse. And with that, Anna and Keanu prepare for the next challenge. They know that the world won't stop trying to tear them down, but they also know they've come too far to let that happen. The rally is set in the heart of Madrid, a grand square surrounded by buildings steeped in history. The air is electric, the tension thick as the crowd gathers. Anna can feel it in her chest, the beating of her heart against the backdrop of the whispers, the murmurs. She knows something is coming. The question is, what? Keanu stands beside her, his presence a constant. Reassurance. His eyes are calm, focused, but there's a quiet intensity to them, something Anna recognizes all too well. We've got this, he says simply, his voice steady. Anna nods, trying to steady her nerves. As the rally begins, she steps up to the microphone, the crowd falling silent in anticipation. She knows what they're expecting. More of the same. More apologies, more explanations, but today she won't give them that. I'm not here to apologize for who I am, she begins, her voice clear and strong. I'm here to stand for something bigger than myself. The crowd murmurs, the first signs of resistance appearing. But Anna is undeterred. Do you want the truth? Then listen. The screens behind her light up with the familiar images of Cuba, the struggle, the fight for freedom, the real problems. And as Anna speaks, Keanu steps forward, showing the crowd the proof they've been waiting for, the full story, the truth that has been hidden for so long. There's no shame in standing for the truth, Keanu says, his voice cutting through the murmurs of the crowd. And there's no shame in helping those who need it. Anna takes a deep breath and continues, her words echoing with the weight of everything she's been through. Don't let them use us. Don't let them turn us into villains when all we want is to help. I'm not a symbol. I'm a woman who's trying to make things right. The crowd falls silent, the words hanging in the air like a heavy truth. And then slowly, the applause starts. At first hesitant, unsure, but then it grows louder, stronger. Anna can feel it, the shift, the turning point. She's no longer just a woman trying to explain herself. She's a leader, standing for something much greater. When the applause dies down, Anna steps off the stage, her heart still pounding. She doesn't know what comes next, but for the first time she feels ready for it. Keanu is there waiting for her. He doesn't say anything, doesn't need to. His presence speaks for itself. We did it, Anna whispers. Together. Keanu nods, his eyes full of that quiet pride. Always. The weeks that follow are filled with small victories. The media begins to shift slowly as more and more people rally behind Anna's cause. The Cuban relief efforts gain momentum, and Anna starts to see the impact of her work, not in the form of fame, but in real tangible change. The world still watches her every move, still questions her choices, but Anna is no longer afraid. She's found a way to stand tall, to speak her truth without fear, and Keanu, as always, stands beside her. One evening, as they sit together in the quiet of the community center, Anna watches Keanu as he looks over the donations coming in. The flag pin is still on his jacket, always a reminder of their shared journey. Thank you, Anna says quietly, her voice soft but filled with gratitude. Keanu looks up, a small smile tugging at his lips. You don't have to thank me. You did this. Anna smiles, her eyes reflecting the light of the setting sun. We did this. And in that moment, they both know. The journey is far from over, but they've come a long way. Together they've found something worth fighting for, and as long as they stand side by side, they'll continue to face whatever the world throws their way. With a final glance at each other, they walk out of the community center, ready to face the future together.